We're coming to you with some new tech this week.
HD motherfuckers.
Welcome to MMA for Marks. I'm Andy. This is my co-host Ethan. Coming to you with some new tech. Ethan's got a new microphone. I got a new camera, and so does he. And so we're sitting here at 1080. You're sitting at 720 HD.
I'm at 720 HD, yeah.
But hey, we're getting better. We're improving.
I'm cheap. We don't have any sponsors yet, so I don't want to splurge yet on Camo Pro.
If you're trying to do a podcast, there's an app called Camo. Shout out to Camo. We don't get sponsored by Camo or anything like that, like we had a fucking sponsor, but
yeah,
right. Check out Camo. You can use it to turn your iPhone or another phone into a webcam. So like the standard webcam that comes on a lot of computers are pretty fucking shitty. Even Apple's ones are pretty good, but they're not really that great. I'm using my GoPro shooting in 1080 HD, which you could switch between that and 720. So if you got a GoPro, you could also use a GoPro as a webcam. But if you don't have a GoPro, you probably have a smartphone, and I guarantee you your smartphone camera is probably better than your laptop camera. So useful information for anyone who wants to know. So shall we start the show? Onward and onward.
Indeed we shall.
So moving on to the men. This weekend was a great fight, great card. UFC in Houston, UFC 263. Man.
More COVID motherfuckers out there.
Oh my God, it was so great, dude. It was so awesome.
Oh, I seen the crowd. The crowd looked fucking. It's just, you can't fucking beat it, man. You just can't beat it, man. Just in general, like when you watch shit that has like live crowds from like 2019, 2018, and it's like, that's electric. And to have gone through the pandemic and just everything just be just shittier. And now, I make the joke about a bunch of 20,000 COVID motherfuckers in an arena, but I mean, goddamn, it's so fucking electric, especially with everybody and their stir craziness when it comes to events and things of that nature. It's just so goddamn sensational to watch these fights with fucking 20,000 people screaming their fucking heads off.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Texas is a place that's opening up. So, you know what I mean? They're having events, and the UFC, Texas is also looking to bring in business as well. Many states are. It's something Dana talked about in the press conference, that he's gotten calls from several different governors and things like that. Or the UFC has, maybe not him personally, but
him personally.
As things open up, we'll see more and more live events. Dana said after Vegas, they don't really know what they're going to do. So, just have to see. The East Coast isn't opening up as much, neither is the West Coast over here. So, we'll just have to see how it goes. But as long as they start putting the fights and they have these crowds, hey, it's great. I think it's awesome.
Come to Orlando. I would love to come see you. In Orlando.
Florida's wide open, right? You guys are fucking wide open over there.
Florida's wide open, bro. I'm probably going to go to a wrestling event in Jacksonville on the 31st, or 30th rather, for AEW Double or Nothing. And they're going to, for the first time, have a full crowd, 5,500 people inside that amphitheater.
Wide open spaces. Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you guys are going to be,
it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. And look, it's good. It's good for people. It's good for people to be back in that atmosphere. It's healthy. Look at the fighters. You could tell the fighters were so much more engaged. The card was really good. The whole thing was just electric. You felt it. There was the same thing with 262. So, it was just great. And I think this one was even better as far as the crowd pop is concerned. There were some big crowd pops for one for Derek Lewis. Of course, you know what I mean?
Of course.
Hometown hero. And that was great to see.
Why did they put him on this fucking card? Why wouldn't you put Derek Lewis in a Houston card coming back from a pandemic?
Because he should have been on fight. Because they don't know what they're doing. Because they're using him as a negotiating tool for the Jon Jones fight. Honestly, if you're Derek, I wait too. I mean, you're in no rush to fight.
Yeah, I know.
Just got off. You know what I mean? He's got bad back, and so I'm sure he's healing up on injuries and stuff. And I mean, honestly, we all know that he, you can't take anything away from the Black Beast, but had he not landed that punch, who knows what Curtis Blade may have been able to do to him if he had got a hold of him, and if that would have grapple fucked him to death, as we all thought how that fight was going to go. So, and then, hey, maybe Curtis Blades is an Bellator, but hey, that's not what happened. You know what I mean? So the Black Beast is yeah, he's due for the title. He's due for the title. I don't care what anybody says. Jon Jones is not in line for the heavyweight championship. Yeah, he can get it if he wants to get it, but doesn't look like he's playing ball at the UFC. So I wish they would go with Derek Lewis, but I feel that this is probably a ploy to just try to get Jon Jones to come down on the numbers. But you know, Jon's been coming out. Jon came out and said this week definitively that he's not going to fight Stipe, because Dana came out and said, well, if Derek Lewis is next in line, Jon can fight Stipe, and the winner of them can fight the winner of Ngannou and Lewis. And Jon was just like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
I don't want to lose for nothing.
He's like, I don't want to lose. I'm not going up there. And it's the craziest thing, though, because Jon is, it's this weird, like, line I feel we're all towing. And it's just like, yeah, Jon wants to be the baddest, the greatest motherfucker of all time and go up, but he only wants to do it in his one way, in his condition, and for the belt only.
Jon Jones is falling more into what boxing suffers from, and that's that bullshit picking and choosing. And that's, not a good look, honestly, especially with the way the sport is.
It's red panty night, baby. Break out the red panties. Come on, baby.
I mean, he wants to be Conor, and he doesn't have Conor drawing power, bro. Like, Jon Jones has got drawing power. Jon Jones is a legend and a Hall of Famer. He doesn't have that Conor McGregor, like...
He may not have that Conor McGregor pull, but he does.
He doesn't have the pull.
He now, because of Conor McGregor...
People hate him.
Because of Conor McGregor, Jon Jones now has leverage and power. Because of the things that Conor McGregor did back in his heyday, a lot of these fighters now have leverage and power. And
more than they did, yeah.
Yeah, a lot more than they did. So, I mean, Jon Jones able to honestly negotiate the contract out in the public like this, long-term for the sport, probably not the worst thing. You know what I mean? Maybe we don't get the fight we want. You know what I mean? But maybe seeing this out in the public, maybe this will open some eyes. And you know what I mean? If you're along the lines where you go like, dude, they're going to give him fucking $10 million. He already makes $10 million a fight. All right. I get like the Nevada commission stuff. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? $500,000 to show fight. That's all bullshit. That is whatever the UFC does in order to fucking.
Well, no, it's pay-per-view points. That's the only reason why he makes it is because of the pay-per-view points.
It's pay-per-view.
He's not making it.
No, it's pay-per-view.
Not making it.
No, the UFC's no. The UFC is paying him on top. The UFC is a private organization. They do not have to disclose all their fighter pay. The fighter pay that's disclosed is through the commissions. Now you're saying that Dana White's slipping him another check under the fucking table. Dana White's been doing that since the Tito Ortiz chocolate. I mean, that's been the way the UFC and Zuffa has ran the company since they took over. They don't want their numbers being out there primarily because they give the fighters such a shitty cut. So that's why, you know what I mean? So it's when you see, it's like DC said, he made like 2 or 3 million when he fought Jon Jones to defend the belt when he came back or whatever, to like take the fight. But when you look at the official fighter pay for that fight, he was only paid like $560 to show and like another $180 or whatever to win. You know what I mean? So like on the books, not on the books, but on public books, he didn't make, he didn't.
I mean, I feel like the pay-per-view points though.
No, the pay-per-view points, they get that for sure. But that always hasn't been a thing. Like it's been a long thing for like, Dana to go in the back and hand a huge ass bonus check out. That's been like a huge thing for a long time, especially in the higher ups and stuff like that. Like with Jon Jones, like that's why they're saying like Jon Jones, he's been making 5 to 10 million every fight, not just in pay-per-view points, in just like that's his fucking guaranteed money. And which really isn't crazy if you think about it. I mean, it's really nothing. It's really not that much. And that's why asking for 20, 30 million for this fight with Ngannou is not crazy at all. And fuck, Ngannou should get 20, 30 million as well.
They're not Floyd Mayweather, man. I mean,
the money's there, bro. The money's there. It's there.
I don't want to be anti-fighter,
Well, look, I mean, they may not be. I'm not talking Floyd Mayweather's over $100 million to show. I mean, that motherfucker's got such a price tag. I'm talking a quarter of that. These guys are worth a quarter of Floyd. These guys are easily worth a quarter of Floyd. On the UFC side of the house, MMA side of the house, Yeah, these guys are moving numbers big time, and they're gonna see that money. The UFC is just not used to giving up that cut. So just like the old school NBA, NFL, all that shit back in the 70s and 60s and shit, you know, that's gonna have to happen in MMA in order for these fighters to start getting a bigger percentage of the pie. I hate to see what's
Would like to go back. I would like to go back at some point and track the trajectory of fighter pay in boxing and see how that correlates to fighter pay in UFC. That should be like a little research than we do.
I guarantee you it's astronomically higher in boxing simply because the Ali Act was passed in like 80 something. So I mean, after that happened, which I don't know how the MMA doesn't fall under that, but it doesn't. And
But
after
that's what that's all under the same thing with unions and all that shit. That's all part of like it's like a whole like package that they're trying to make it like an official like sport because UFC still is very outlaw from that perspective because of the fact they handle most of their shit.
But the
like,
UFC is a league. The MMA as a whole is not is a sport, but it doesn't have. It should fall under the Ali Act, but right now they're trying to. It's basically the new law that they're trying to get passed is going to basically enable fighters to fall under the Ali Act. But I mean that the UFC and all let's cut the bullshit. I mean Bellator, all these other organizations definitely throwing money to try to not make that happen, no matter what they want to say. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Because they don't want to have to pay even more. You know what I mean? So these smaller promotions are already paying more than the UFC in some cases, so they can get it. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot of room to be made there, and I don't really know what the right way is. There's a lot more smarter people than you and I to figure it out, but I hope they do figure it out because I would love to stop seeing prelim fighters, only make $20,000 or $30,000 to fucking I mean, come on, man. Like, if you're on fucking TV, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a good one to do. Do the boxers versus the prelim boxers versus the MMA prelim guys. Like, well, who makes more? I would
definitely
still imagine the boxers. You know,
definitely not by much though. Like, well, it depends.
But it's been really that for a long time.
It depends, really. We can look at that.
The prelim, I would think the prelim boxers have been getting paid a lot more for a lot longer. Maybe
I wouldn't say a lot. No, I wouldn't say a lot more. I wouldn't say a lot more.
Since the 90s,
they're probably making like 10 grand now, the minimum themselves.
A boxer?
Yeah, I mean it depends on because you have different levels of prelims. Like what? So have you been to a boxing event? An official boxing event?
Oh, a long time ago, man.
So I've been to two. I've seen Miguel Cotto live, and I've seen Gennady Golovkin live. And so I've seen both of them live. And so I was there because I like to catch as much as I can for the fights. Gee, I want my money's worth. Jesus, So, whenever you look at those the prelim boxers, they're all very early in their career. Like you have guys that are like, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, facing a guy that's like 2-4, or like, 3-1 versus like 2-0. They're all up and coming. Those early matches are all up and coming people. They aren't like you're gonna see an up and comer against a journeyman or two up and coming people face each other. And so those people, because they're so early in their careers, they don't get paid as much for that. Like they make the tens of thousands, but it's not a humongous number. Same thing with the journeyman boxers. Journeyman boxers are just there for a paycheck. They know they're there probably to lose. You know what I mean? So they just want their $10,000 and then call it a day. So it's not so much the principle of them making more money because of the fact that you have the highest revenue. That's how you get guys like Floyd Mayweather and fucking Canelo Alvarez making $100 million a fight. But it's really boils down more to the contracts that these fighters are signing because of the fact that they're more up and comers and things of that nature.
Well, shall we get on to the card, my friend?
Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that we'd like to talk about?
I'm sure that there is once or twice here or another. There is Fabricio Verdun's fake tap got turned over.
Yes, I did see that.
confusing though, because they turned it to a no contest. I don't understand. If you're acknowledging that,
well, because he lost. He shouldn't have lost, but he did lose.
So why not overturn it to a win?
Because the fact that the other guy didn't lose. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. Damn if you don't, because he lost via tap out. He lost. He lost via tap out, but they didn't call it. He ended up winning the fight. Verdum won the fight, and he ended up losing the fight. So it's a no contest. They throw it away.
Bonehead decision by the commission, if you ask me, because
it is.
You got the position right to right the ship. Okay.
Who was the referee for that? Who's the fucking wanker that fucked that up?
Well, I don't think he didn't fuck it up. He just didn't see. He just wasn't in a position to see.
That's a fuck up.
I mean, he's human. What are you gonna? He's not an all-around camera. But I mean,
fucking human.
The point of the commission is when the human makes a mistake to come in and right the ship. They came in to right the ship, but then they gave him a no contest, and it's kind of like, okay, why are you giving a no contest? Well, because he tapped, and so then he went on, and it was the wrong decision. So you're acknowledging that he tapped. Yes, he tapped. Okay, then you're acknowledging that he lost the bout. But are we not clear on the rules of MMA? Are we not clear on the rules of? I mean, you know what I mean?
Your point. I see your point. I'm fine with the no contest. I see your point.
How are you fine with the no contest? There's the contest is not.
So you know what? You know why I think about it, because I think of it like
it just blows my mind. It kind of honestly, I don't understand. It's one of these things where it's like, who the fuck's on these commissions? I mean, you want to investigate fighters? How about we turn the ship around and start investigating some of these motherfuckers? It just doesn't make any sense to take a guy like Fabricio Verdum, put a no contest on his record when he clearly won the fight, and then you're acknowledging that he won that the reason why you're turning over is because he won the fight, because the other guy lost. So why is it a no contest? It just makes no sense.
I think it just goes off the principle of just fucking what's it called? Like, for example, in baseball, where before they started doing the instant replay, there were some egregious errors, but because it was, just human error, human principle, that's why they did that. And I guess the other thing I would mention also is probably, the principle of the referee's decision being final. And so the referee's decision was that he didn't see it, and the other referee's decision is that the other guy won via knockout. So they're trying to uphold the integrity of the referee in this instance. It's obviously, like I mentioned 2 seconds ago, the referee fucked up. But
they're clearly not upholding they're not. They're clearly actually objecting and saying the referee was wrong. That's what they're saying by overturning it to a no contest. They're actually not backing the ref. They're actually saying the ref got it wrong, didn't see the tap, so we're going to change the decision. So I'm saying it just doesn't make any sense to change it to a no contest.
I would love to make this a poll on our page.
I mean, you can make it a poll, but you're just going to see 90-something% of people say, yeah, he should have won. It should have been a win, because I'm saying, just think about it logically, like outside the box, like not fuck the principle stuff, right? Like just saying like what you said about them, the whole principle of the commission's backing the ref and the ref wanting to do this, and the ref's decision is final. But in this case, the commission themselves are the ones saying, nope, that ref's decision was not final actually. And we realize what happened. So it's a no contest. So it just, it's just, if you're Fabricio Verdum, you're like, yeah, cool. Not really. You know what I mean? Like that's
better than now. It's better than now. It may have the kissing your sister ending, but I mean, it's better than an L.
Yeah, it's better than an L. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's better than a fucking L.
Bro. Yeah, exactly, bro.
All right, but it's still fucking shitty. It's still, it still shouldn't be. The commit. That's
kiss his sister, but he said fuck his mom.
Yeah. It's just one of these things that makes me, I'm rubbing my bald spot in right here because of these stupid commissions. But
commissions are terrible.
I digress, Governor.
We do indeed.
We do.
Well, I think we should start talking about the card, sir.
I agree.
Fantastic card of UFC 262.
Trying to go to sleep over there, Mike. Oh,
yeah, I got fucked up last night talking about on the Orlando Tragic podcast. Shout out Orlando Tragic podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud and now Spotify. Soon we'll be on Apple Podcasts as well, but you can look us up on Spotify and SoundCloud. Just type in the Orlando Tragic podcast. Shout out Ronan. Shout out that team. Us talking shit. Check us out.
All right, moving on to the card.
I am the show. God damn it!
I am it. So, Andrea Lee versus Antina Shevchenko. We'll start there. Man, that was a great fight.
Not her sister.
No, she's not her sister. She never was. She's a good fighter, but she's just comparing her, silly to compare her just because they're siblings. They're not in the same caliber. I mean, if they were ever to fight each other, I mean, the fight would be over. So anyway, Andrea Lee, she actually was getting kind of pieced up though on the feet. She was kind of taking it. Shevchenko was taking it to her.
Lee has always been known to be very tough. She's a very gritty girl. None of her fights are ever easy. They're never pretty. She's she's just it's a dog fight.
Dirty fighter.
Is a dog fighter, but she's a great fighter, entertaining.
Yeah, no, she's dirty boxing, dirty clinch fighter. You know what I mean? And I called it, I called it Andrea Lee because I figure the grappling Shevchenko would not be on her level of grappling. And even if she started getting pieced up on the feet, which she did, she went to the grappling and she started making it dirty. And eventually she got the sub. I don't necessarily know if she was winning on points, but she did get the submission.
Forgive me, I missed I missed what round was it? I missed that. I apologize when I pasted this into our notes.
That was the last round. This is third round. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a great fight too. It was up and down. It was definitely a good lead off for the whole card, for the night. You know what I mean? For what was to come.
The ESPN prelims, because they did have the fights earlier that we're not talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
There were some finishes on that too.
Yeah, because I'm going to skip ahead too of probably about two of these fights. But yeah, the Andrea Lee, she moves on. Shevchenko, I don't think she's going anywhere.
She's not.
I'd like to see her fight Roxy or
something. I would love to see. I mean, Bellator doesn't have a flyweight division, do they? They only have a 35 and a 45, right?
There's talk of them getting one.
Bro, and we'll talk about this later when it comes to the division with Chookagian, but I don't know. It might do Shevchenko some good to kind of break away from the UFC and maybe go somewhere else to be able to establish herself. She'll fight easier opponents and then she'll make herself a champion, and then the two sisters, two champions in the same division. That's pretty cool. But, it's not our decision to talk about.
That is a nice thought, but honestly, I don't see her going anywhere else and getting easier fights. I think if anything, Michael Chandler proved this, and we'll get to the Michael Chandler fight in a minute, but Michael Chandler proved this weekend. I mean, something we already knew, but he proved to the overall MMA world that these other organizations are not to trifle with. You know what I mean? They're not. Yeah. He was this close to becoming the UFC lightweight champion. And so, you know what I mean? Yeah, she might be able to go to a small organization and maybe get some fights and stuff like that. But the thing of it is she's fighting in her sister's division. As long as her sister's going to be there, I mean,
she'll always be in the shadow.
She's always going to be in the shadow. So if
you might as well be in the shadow in the bigger organization and make bigger money.
Yeah. But I'm not saying I'm not saying she needs to go and fight more less talented fighters. She can hold her own in other organizations. But I definitely think, have big sister in your corner. She's a fucking, Valentina in her corner is like a fucking whirlwind, bro. She's all pumped up and, just constantly cheering her on and stuff. And I was watching a video the other day, a compilation of her that the UFC
she's a good sister. She's a very good sister.
Her like cheering her on in the corner. Man, she's losing her mind. Losing her mind screaming Russian.
Yeah. I mean, bro, she wants to see her succeed. She doesn't want to bring shame on her family. No, I'm just kidding.
No, totally. Yeah, no, for real. I mean, those Shevchenko sisters are all about the business, son. Don't fuck with them, bro. They put a bullet in your ass. They'll be like doing dancing 1 second, and then they'll be shooting fucking ARs at the range the next, dude.
Bro, for real. Bro, there's very few people that are as America as fucking Valentina Shevchenko.
Bro, she's so
America as fuck.
She's so Texas.
America as fuck.
She is Texas through and through. She's American Texas because she loves fucking shooting guns and she loves all that shit, man. You know what I mean? So
guns and cowboy boots.
I know, she's like a Russian cowboy girl.
What the fuck?
So moving on. We're gonna go ahead and Andrew Mintz versus Jacare. Man,
So I'm a sick bastard, and I absolutely adore when people break their fucking arms and legs in the fucking US. Well, let me rephrase that. Not the way Chris Weidman broke his leg, but when it comes to submissions and seeing people's arms get broken or fucking somebody, have a blown ACL because of a kick, I love that shit.
Yeah,
I'm a barbarian.
I got
I'm
a buddy.
Barbarian.
My buddy Nick's all about that too. He loves seeing that shit break.
Bro, it's so raw. It's like the gladiators, dude. You're like, oh, you have to take my fucking arm. Okay.
He took his arm, bro.
He took his fucking arm.
I mean, you cannot have a better fucking coming out party than Andre Muniz did, dude. You just
I don't know much about him.
I don't know much, but I know he broke Jacare's arm and he beat him in the grappling. I know he did that. I know he just took Jacare, who is literally one of the gods of grappling. And he out-grappled him. He out-jiu-jitsu'd him. You're talking about a guy, Jacare got his arm broken back in the 90s against one of the Gracies. I can't remember. I think it's Royler. I think it was the same arm. He tucked that fucking arm into his belt and finished the fight and won it on points. It's crazy that he got his arm broken in the fight. It's unfortunate because, it's gladiator-ish to see that. And it's, you know what I mean? The part of me that doesn't like it is because I know what it means for the athlete, I guess. And I'm damn,
let me not be inhumane and say that. Like,
you're not being inhumane. You're just being honest.
The fan loves the gladiator, like blood. Hey,
what are we watching, man?
But the human in me. It's human cockfighting.
It is what it is.
But I agree. It's the human aspect. It's like, fuck, now Jacare is going to be out for at least fucking 3, 4, 5 months. And who knows if it's the same arm. Anytime you break your arm, you run that risk of it'll never be the same again. So
he should be done. He should be done. He should retire. We all know that. He does. There's nothing left. There's nothing left Jacare has to prove. And honestly,
go to Bellator and win.
No. He's not going to. He'll go to Bellator and get fucking.
All of them go to fucking Bellator. No. You're an old man. Where do you go? Bellator.
Bellator ain't taking over. Scott Coker's taking a page out of Dana White's book right now. He's just like, I'm trying to get rid of the old guys. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, he took goddamn Yoel Romero on a fucking 4-fight losing streak.
Yeah, because of the public outcry, and there was a lot of pressure, and Yoel's still going to bring in some, but Yoel ain't fighting for 5 fights in Bellator. I tell you that right now. Nope, not going to happen.
The last 5 fights?
Nope. Jacare, I love Jacare, and I think Jacare is a great fighter. He's done amazing things for the sport. He's done amazing things for jiu-jitsu. But, I mean, dude, you know what I mean? What are you fighting for? Are you going for a title run? Don't think so. Your last fight, you got finished you got finished in a dominant position because you got caught being distracted by a young kid. And then, you come out and you get submitted, and you're the king of submissions. You're the king of jiu-jitsu. Reputation
has his day at the end of the day.
Exactly. Reputation has something, and pride is something. And he definitely took a big hit on his pride. Now, it's Jacare, so he's mentally tough, of course. But how's this going to affect him going forward?
So again, as I said, I didn't see the fight itself. Did he tap, or did it was just the referee saw the break and stopped it?
He did tap, but it was after the break. Yeah. And I believe it was kind of simultaneously, if I remember. Honestly, I don't remember the tap. I'm pretty sure the tap was there, but I just remember the ref. I don't remember who the ref was because it just happened. And then it was pandemonium. And then they replayed it and you heard the snap. And it was just so loud. And it was kind of like, God damn, the microphones were turned up. Savage.
They must have had a mic right next to the cage.
Well, they do. They have mics under the
cage. Yeah, they have mic. They sound.
That cage has got microphones hidden all over that fucking thing, man. Yeah, no. They're definitely. Yeah, I was picking up some fucking crazy ass sounds. So as someone who records is into like editing and shit, I when I heard the pop, I was like, that is so clear. It was
clearer than our mics sitting and talking.
clearer than our mics and our video has been going. So Andrew Muniz, I don't know what's next for him. This was kind of a coming out party for him. He's a savage in grappling. He is a savage in the stand-up, but I think more grappling in this department.
He wasn't ranked now. He's gonna be
ranked. He's gonna be fighting some competition. So I hope he's ready for that. Like I said, Jacare, I'd like to see him retire. But who knows? You know what I mean? If I'm the UFC, honestly, I don't see the UFC giving him another fight. You know? I mean,
they already did Dos Santos and fucking.
He's on a 2-fight skitter, and he's what, 42, 43?
2 fights, I don't know. 2 fights isn't that much.
UFC's been cutting, man. They've been cutting, especially these old guys. I mean, somebody ought to break out a fucking Dunder Mifflin style ageless suit. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, I don't even understand how they're getting away with it, because Dana White's basically going out like, I'm done with the old guys. I'm fucking getting rid of them. Yeah, if you're old, I'm out. You're out. You know, and it's kind of like,
you better win or you're out.
You better win or you're out. But moving on, going into the main card. Edson Barbosa versus Shane Burgos. Man.
I should be upset because Shane Burgos is a New York fellow like me, but I mean, damn, Edson was a savage.
What a fight, man. What a fight, dude. Shane Burgos came to bring it. So did Edson Barbosa. Both of them were turning and gunning, dude. They were turning the hips so hard, man. It was good. They were both of them are great strikers. Edson has just got that Edson is
world
just got
world
that
class.
Fucking edge, man. He's the edge Edson Barbosa, bro. Dude. Edgy as fuck Edson. And he just, man, you know, his fight IQ is so high. So in the fight, he's just able to adapt and change so much and learn timing. The guy is truly
him moving to New Jersey and training under Mark Henry has done wonders for his fucking career.
Yeah. Mark Henry, fucking
wonders, bro. Yeah. Training with guys like Frankie Edgar all the time.
Absolutely.
Fucking wonders.
Oh, yeah.
Wonders.
Yeah, and you could see it you could see the improvement in his game. You could see the improvement big time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It was a crazy ending. It seemed a couple times Barbosa caught him with some good shots, both to the head and to the body. He caught him with that spinning back kick to the body twice. And then he caught Burgos with a couple just straight hooks, you know what I mean? And a couple counters that Burgos kind of like, you know, his equilibrium went out. And then they got tied up against the cage, and then they broke in the action. And then, Barbosa threw a combo, and then he threw a jab, and it landed clean. And then all of a sudden, Burgos is just in the fight, and then he's not. He just starts backing up. His eyes start to kind of go. You could see his pupils getting like as well as you could see. And then he just falls back headfirst into the cage. Barbosa is kind of like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? And went over there and finished it up real quick. But yeah, obviously he was out on his feet. You know what I mean? But even Joe Rogan said, I never seen anything like that. Not in 1,000 fights. He never seen a guy all of a sudden be in the fight, going, looking like he was all right. And then that delayed reaction from a couple of hits before.
You know what I mean?
It was
that's kind of alarming. That's kind of alarming when you really think about it.
It is.
Like, if I was Shane Burgos, I would go get, like, I'm sure they're going to go into, like, get CT scans. Oh,
he's going to be on
MRIs. Medical. Yeah, he's going to be a 6-monther for sure.
Watch him come out and be like 30 days.
Jesus Christ. Shane Burgos with the replacement fight in 15 days. You fucking savage.
Truth. It's the truth. And he'd probably take it. So, Edson Barbosa advances, man. It was a good fight. Clean win for Edson. He's only got up to go. I'd like to see him fight for a belt one day, but he's really
he deserves the fight, but he's got to work his way up. Edson Barbosa is the type. He'll go on a streak. He'll be doing fantastic. He'll run into stiff competition, and it'll be a somewhat competitive fight, but he'll lose very cleanly, and it's back to the starting position. Yep. He's got to find, and he's got it in him, that just one impeccable run. You know what I mean? That a run like Charles Olivera, who we'll talk about in the main event. He's a run like that, bro. He's got it in him.
Got a little bit of a cowboy thing going on with him. You know what I mean? Where he gets, like you said, he gets on these streaks, and then he just can never seem to get in the right
get over the hump. He can't
get over the hump.
Can't get over the hump, man.
Can't get over
Hope
the
he
hump.
does. Hope he does. He's a fantastic fighter to watch.
I hope he does too. He's young. I could see it happening. So we shall see. The lightweight division is murderous. Featherweight. I'm sorry. He's at featherweight now. So yeah, the featherweight division's murderous too. So hey, you can't really,
all those light divisions are fucking fire.
Them guys are great. All them
35, 45, 55, fire.
I mean, really, it's
not
fire.
That bullshit you see it. Not the bullshit you see at 70.
Yeah, well, 70's got some issues, but which we can talk about later. But moving on, Katlyn Chookagian versus Viviana Arejo. This was an odd one because the decision 29. The scorecard, the unanimous is wild. The one judge who scored 30-27 is fucking wild. I honestly could have seen Viviana winning the fight, to be honest with you. But the fact that it wasn't a split decision, at least, is crazy. Texas is notorious for this, though. They're notorious for bad judging. They're notorious for bad commission calls. They're notorious for their commission being stupid too. So I just it's another one of these commission things that kind of who the fuck are these guys hiring? I don't know, to judge these fights, but obviously it's still some boxing people, and
so they're always boxing people, bro, because that's the primary sport. It's
not just boxing people though. There's also these MMA judges who don't have any fucking experience in MMA. That's a problem too. There's a bunch of these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if they even released the names of the judges. I'm sure they did. I don't normally pay attention. But Katlyn Chookagian, it wasn't the most impressive win. And like I said, because it was controversial, I don't really even know what you do with her. Obviously, she didn't win, so you got.
So Chookagian, the thing with the flyweight division is there's no one in the flyweight division because Valentina's that goddamn special.
Yeah, what do you do? You give Chookagian to Valentina
again and lose again? Here. No, bro, she can't. There's no one in the division that can face Valentina as it stands right now.
The problem.
You may see fucking what's her face, Mackenzie Dern, come up soon. She's very close to a title shot, but Mackenzie Dern's got no shot against Valentina. I mean, Chookagian, I think she thinks she's still the number one, and she not, or she's like number 2 or number 3. I mean, Chookagian's kind of stuck because she's already lost dominantly to Shevchenko. So it's like, you're just a gatekeeper at the current moment in time until Valentina decides to move up, retire, give up the belt. You're not, or unless you just start putting together like incredible wins to where there's no choice but to give you the rematch. And so this won't help her case from that standpoint, but that division is just stuck because Valentina's a god.
If I'm Katlyn Chookagian, though, I'm thinking to myself, I did take Valentina down. And I'm thinking that if I just work on my wrestling chops a little bit, that maybe, just maybe, I can hold her down. Maybe I could tire her out. Maybe I could take her to a place no one's ever taken her before. And so
Valentina doesn't uppercut her in the fucking jaw.
Sure. You gotta avoid those. But if she was able to get in, I do think that would be an interesting rematch. Not right now, but I do think it would be an interesting rematch down the road. What do you do if you're Katlyn Chookagian? I don't know. If I'm her, I keep winning, try to increase my stock, and then get a bigger fight contract outside of the UFC.
Yeah.
Go fight in one. I'd love. She seemed like she'd be a good spot for one or Bellator or something. Like
bro, there aren't many Americans, especially in the UFC, that are going to be going to one. We'll talk about at the end. We'll talk about Dan Hardy. At the end of this, we'll talk about Dan Hardy because I want to talk about Dan Hardy.
I mean, I kind of disagree, but all right. But moving on, co-main event, huge fight. Beneil Dariush versus Toni Ferguson. Man, it was fucking great. Toni was on fire all week. Beneil was himself, and Toni was just being Toni, man. The interviews were popping. The presser was great. Toni stole the show at the presser. Man, Toni came into this fight with a
Who won the bonuses?
Dude.
Who won the bonuses? Because whoever won the bonuses, you can thank Toni Ferguson for that shit.
I'm not sure, but yes, you can thank Toni Ferguson for that shit. Dana White said that exactamundo. And Toni Ferguson came into the fight, with a lot of pressure to win this fight for Tony Ferguson and to get back on a winning track so he can get back towards that belt. And the problem is, if you don't know, Beneil Dariush
is a
been one of the best fucking fighters in the world for like 10 years. And was before he got in the UFC and has been since. He's just been a wrecking show. Just most fans haven't heard about him. Most casuals haven't heard about him. You know what I mean? So
you can't call yourself a mark MMA mark or any type of real MMA fan if you are shitting or sleeping on.
We take them all over here. We take all the fans. So you call yourself a fan if you want, but yes, most of the insider fans, us in the insider fan sports, we do know who Beneil Dariush is. And I mean, a lot of the UFC fans know who he is now, but before, a lot of people didn't know who he was. You know what I mean? And I knew who he was outside the organization. He was making a lot of noise. And so he comes in.
He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that if he went to ONE FC, he would fucking murder everybody and he'd be perfect for them.
I'd love to see him do it. I didn't realize he was that old. I didn't realize he was 40. So I don't.
He's been around the block.
I don't think
this is his last hurrah.
Yeah, this is his last hurrah.
Boy, oh boy, he's working. He's working up there.
Look, I'll say this much. He was himself. Beneil Dariush was who he was. He showed up to the fight and he fought in his fight. Tony Ferguson showed up to fight who he was and fought his fight, and it just wasn't enough. You know what I mean?
Was a better man, clearly. Clearly,
the better man. Clearly, Tony Ferguson's knee was popped in a ankle lock that Beneil Dariush put on. Dariush said he watched his face freak out for a millisecond and then go back to just being Tony, and then started kicking him with his heel in the chest. And so he said, "Fuck it, I guess I'll just try to take his back because I've already torn his ACL." So that's how crazy Tony motherfucking Ferguson is. All right, guys. That's how fucking nuts this guy is. He popped his fucking ACL, probably shredded his knee. That was the one that got fucked up by the cable, by the way, cable gate.
Yeah.
And he shredded that one and just kept fighting. He kept fighting.
Truly is El Cucuy, bro. The fucking crazy one.
El Cucuy. And
like we were talking about earlier, when you were talking about Jacare Souza, I saw a clip where they asked Dana White that the pros fight what they're going to do with Tony Ferguson. He's like, man, I don't know. He's like, lost 3 in a row. They asked him, like, are you going to have that conversation with Tony about, maybe hanging him up? And he's like, I don't know. So this is Tony Ferguson was at a crossroads, and he's sure as fuck at a crossroads now with his third straight loss against top competition. I think, man. Yeah,
I think Dana probably says, I don't know, because he knows no fucking way. I mean, you're not going to talk to Tony Ferguson about retiring, bro. Like,
no.
That's hilarious.
He'll probably, Tony Ferguson will go on Twitter and be like, Dana White, release me. I'm not going to retire.
Yeah, no, exactly. It would be a workless meeting. And the reason why I say what I said about Jacare is because I could see Jacare retiring. I hope that he does. You know what I'm saying? I can't see Tony retiring. Unfortunately, I don't see Tony doing anything other than if he gets out of the UFC, going to these other organizations, and unfortunately completely tarnishing his career probably, but fighting until he just physically can't fight anymore. So I don't know, maybe he goes. I don't see him. I heard somebody say bare knuckle. I don't see that. I'd like to see him go.
I think Ferguson's above that.
I just don't think he's a good boxer. I think he would get pieced up in a place like BKFC.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Gaethje piece him up.
Yeah,
Dariush landed great shots.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's just one of these unorthodox strikers. He's not a boxer. You know what I mean? And that's
but he's lost some of that unorthodoxism. Is that the word?
Well, if you don't know, he brought in Freddie Roach. I mean, he literally changed up a lot of stuff in this last.
I saw that he did have Freddie Roach in his corner.
A lot of times that could either go really good or really bad, and I don't know.
I wouldn't say this went really bad. It didn't go good, but I wouldn't say it went really bad.
I didn't say. Yeah, honestly, it was a disaster, bro. It went really bad. His knee fucking, his knee got fucking popped. He fucking lost the fight. He's probably done in the UFC. I mean, worst case scenario, go.
I mean, it's not like he got fucking to me, a disaster would be if what happened to Gaethje happened here. If Dariush wrecked him the way Gaethje wrecked him. I mean, there's no way that Dariush, I think, can replicate that type of wreckage against somebody, especially in the higher calibers. But at the same time, I feel like that's your
If you
your
ask Tony
baseline for
Ferguson,
disaster.
it would be this is a fucking this is the worst call. It's the worst thing that could happen. Yeah, getting beat by Justin was horrible, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just I can't see this being positive in any way for Tony at all.
Well, I mean, clearly, there's no positive from it, but at the same time, I don't feel it's a disaster.
And I mean, well, that's fine. I just, he brought Eddie brought, you know what I mean? The whole changing of the camps and I just didn't work out for him at all.
Yeah. Yep.
Not at all. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So that's what I'm saying. They either go, these changes work or they don't. They really work or they really don't. Ngannou is a great example. They really work. Right? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Trevor Whitman with fucking with Usman really worked.
Really works. Right. You know what I mean? Or Joshua Fabia and Diego Sanchez. Really bad.
Really failed. Really failed.
Really failed. Yeah. So, obviously that's not a concrete absolutism, but that's it's a pretty general.
It's pretty damn good one.
Pretty damn good one, I'd say. You know what I mean? So yeah. Tony Ferg, man, I'm such a fan. I love El Kukui. I don't want to see him go out like that, but I'll follow him until he's done. I'll follow him until
Dariush, man. Dariush, when you really think about it now, he's probably one fight away from a title fight. He's one more solid performance from a title fight. He's in there. He's in the top 5. He beat Tony Ferguson, who was 5, I think. You know what I mean?
But now Dariush, I don't know who he fights. You know what I mean?
But I mean, Olivera, Chandler, Poirier, McGregor, Hooker, and Ferguson. He just beat Ferguson. Hooker's coming off of a loss. I don't
give him Chandler
matchup.
Chandler, give him Chandler. Yes, great test. Yeah, give him Chandler. Chandler versus Dariush.
Good fight.
If Chandler beats him, then he's obviously still in title contention, and the UFC could still sell the poster boy. But if he's not, you still there?
You just hate Michael Chandler. I
don't hate Michael Chandler.
I think you just hate Michael Chandler.
No. Oh no. I like Michael Chandler. I think he's a great fighter. Why do you think I hate him?
Just that there's a stickling like thing when you talk about Michael Chandler. It's just like, you're not saying I'm not saying you fucking hate his guts. You don't want to see him fucking tarred and feathered. But I mean,
listen, man, listen. All right, I like Michael Chandler plenty. It's just the UFC is really pushing this wholesome guy image thing, and I'm not the big proponent of that. You know what I mean? It's whatever. So, but I like it. I'm not hating on him. I'm just pointing out how the UFC and this is how he's putting himself out. He's putting himself out as this, guy, he wants to be the man, you know what I mean? The dad, the perfect guy, you know what I mean? Like he's purporting himself, and the UFC likes that storyline because it fits along with their marketplace. So they want him to win. They wanted him to win against Olivera, guarantee you. And so, you know what I mean? That's like the storyline I feel that's being pushed about Chandler, when really it's just like nobody knows who the fuck this guy is. So you got to tell everybody who he is. And at the same time, moving on to the main event, you got Michael Chandler fighting for your organization's belt. And while, yes, he's a great champ, he's a great look, all the stuff, he's not a current champ. He didn't take a belt from Bellator and bring it over to the UFC. I'm not aware of that. He lost, actually, in fact.
No, he won his last fight before he came to UFC.
He won his last fight, but he lost his belt to Patricio. Yeah. So.
But he didn't go after it because he wanted to leave.
It's not even like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to look at it from the UFC fighter's perspective. Who the fuck is Michael Chandler? And if you're a UFC guy who's been on the roster, you're like, yeah, I know who Michael Chandler is, but hey, I've been fighting like 10 fights. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got 4-fight win streak. Like, who is this guy who comes in and beats Dan Hooker And then he comes in. Yeah, he almost beats Barbosa. And then what do? He wins the belt. Now you have Bellator's ex-champ as your belt, as your champ.
Yeah, Olivera.
You literally
I don't think
you threw even by giving Chandler the shot, they already threw a lot of clout on Bellator. And hey, that's good for the sport. But if you're the UFC, I don't understand that. And I don't get that from the marketing standpoint. And then also too,
it's just that they didn't want to put Gaethje in there.
The UFC's whole thing is that it's the best. But we know as real fans that it's not. You know what I'm saying?
I don't, but you're making it seem like Chandler's not the best. I mean, given the circumstance, bro, we wanted Poirier. Poirier said, "No, I want money."
I'm not making it seem like Chandler's not the best. I'm trying to say that the UFC is acknowledging that Bellator has the best as well by bringing them in.
Talent, of course, they're
bringing it in. Yeah, I'm acknowledging.
You know, you know who I would love to see.
Weird that the UFC is doing this. I'm just saying it's weird that the UFC is doing this. I think, and that's the only part I don't get about the Michael.
It's not like Dana White and Scott Coker hate each other. It's not fucking. It's not that. It's a competitive rivalry, but I don't think there's like malice between them. You know what I mean?
I think Dana White hates all these other organizations, kind of the same way he hates like fucking the other boxing guys, man. He's never talked very well about any of them. He's always actually made fun of Bellator, and you know what I mean. I don't know. I'm just my point about Michael Chandler is just I like Michael Chandler, and he's obviously good. He obviously deserves to be there, but you do have to have something to say for merit. You know what I mean? And I get that.
Given the circumstances, I was fine with this. And
circumstances, yeah.
Given the circumstances, I'm fine with it, bro. Like I said, everybody wanted Poirier against Olivera. Didn't work out. Or Olivera. I'm sorry, we wanted. It was probably
Olivera versus Poirier. Yeah,
that was a fight. Because I was gonna say again Gaethje, but then I was like, no, Poirier Gaethje beat Poirier. So.
I like I said, I got nothing with Michael Chandler. I think he is going to be a champ. And he was literally a few punches away from being one. He just got too tired to finish it. I don't like seeing him come in from Bellator and automatically getting a title shot. If he was a champion and all this stuff and was on this huge win streak and stuff, I would kind of get it. But to me, it seems like the UFC's kind of playing favorites over a lot of their veteran guys, and it's just I don't know. I don't like it. Maybe because I'm kind of big on loyalty or whatever, but you know what I mean.
But they did that with the Strike Force guys, dude. They did that with the Strike Force guys. I mean,
Strike Force guys were champs. Strike Force guys were champs. It's different. That's why I'm saying Chandler wasn't a champ when he came over. They're trying to kind of like make it seem like he was. You know what I mean? But like, really, he's 3 fights away from losing the belt. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's up there with the best. He's definitely in the top 5. But I'm glad that Olivera won. I'm really glad that Olivera won because I love Charles Olivera. I love Charles Olivera. It's a great story. He's a great human being. And he's just fucking good, man. He's just a fucking great ass fighter. He's fucking awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's earned it. He's earned it. And that's what I'm saying. It's not like Michael Chandler hasn't earned it, but even by his accounts, he's kind of like, well, this happened a lot faster than I thought it would. It's like, maybe. And then that's that's the other backside too. Right. Totally. But that's the other backside too. If you're the UFC, you're trying to push this guy and promote him. Well, now you just got him smoked in his second fight out. You know what I mean? Now he's burned off the belt. Now, if Olivera goes on a tear and starts smoking motherfuckers, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just throwing out, situations. So
he's not going to be a Khabib. Sorry. I like to wrong.
No. Poirier is going to come in and finish him. But Olivera is the champ, regardless of what might happen in the future. Olivera is the champ. And man, what a fight. Next. What a fight, man.
I want him in Gaethje.
He might be next, but for the fight, before we move on to that, man, the fight was incredible. Man. Did you get to watch the fight?
I haven't, but I heard it was sensational.
Man, it was so good. Yeah, it was so good. So it started off with just fast as fuck. You know what I mean? Like Chandler swinging, Olivera was swinging. And then it would seem like Chandler started getting the better of the hands. He started getting the better of the exchanges, and then fucking Olivera just went in for this beautiful fucking level change and double leg takedown and took him, put him on his ass. And then he just started going to work. You know what I mean? And you really started seeing Chandler in a position where you haven't really seen him very much. You know what I mean? In the back, you know, with hooks.
Man, you know something?
Of a
Real
fucking
quick, I think Michael Chandler hates Brazilians because boy, he has some bad luck against them.
Yeah, he does. Hey, if he didn't before, he might now. Yeah.
Oh, bro, give him Gaethje. He might do wonders. Give him a Brazilian.
Hey, that Dana White privilege only goes so far, baby. You know what I mean, dude?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, no, Olivera, and then so Chandler got out. Olivera got tired. Chandler scrambled. Going back on the feet, Chandler started getting the better of the exchange. He caught Olivera good. And Olivera went for a takedown, but his equilibrium was off. And he went to reach and got caught with another hook while he was already on the ground. And this fight was literally at that point seconds from being over. I'm talking seconds from being over.
Ref, Herb?
Don't remember. But Chandler he started to finish it. He started to try to go. But man, he got so tired, and he got on top of Olivera, but Olivera just weathered the storm. Man, he just weathered the storm. Came back out.
Probably an adrenaline dump, bro.
That adrenaline dump by Chandler, and that veteran craftiness of Olivera. He knew if he could just hang in, bro. Got to the corner, got good advice, and man, he came out. And yeah, it was still, it was even. You know what I mean? But. He fucking finished the fight. He took Chandler down, dude. I mean, he took him, he finished, he put him down. You know what I mean? He TKO'd him. Second round. It was fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You did the deed. I was for Charles Olivera, man. Respect Charles Olivera. Congratulations. He's the new kingpin now that Khabib is happily retired with his mommy.
And he will now face probably the winner of Conor versus Poirier, unless
I want Gaethje, man, especially since do Bronx didn't take that much damage. I mean, he took damage, but if they can turn him around relatively quick, I want to see him and Gaethje, and then the winner of that fight can go ahead and face Poirier or Conor.
Well, Conor and Poirier fight next month, so I mean,
bro, we keep leaving out Gaethje. I think Gaethje should get a shot. Gaethje should get another shot at it, bro. You know what I mean? Like.
He should fight another. He should get another fight. He should fight another fight.
I don't think Beneil. That's the only fight I could see him.
I'm down for that, baby.
Beneil, I guess. Beneil and Gaethje. That'll be the next up.
Gaethje and Hooker.
No, I don't want to see Hooker because Hooker lost to Chandler. Hooker's stock to me took a fall.
Gaethje versus Chandler.
If anything, I want to see Hooker versus Ferguson. If they want to give Tony Ferguson another fight in the UFC, give me. Assuming that they can get his shit together.
I don't want to see that.
But
no, I don't want to see.
I mean, two losers against the top. I
mean, yeah, one is in a totally different position though. Chandler versus Gaethje. Let's go. Chandler versus Gaethje, number one contender.
No, give me Beneil versus Gaethje.
Beneil's not ready for a title shot.
There's not much further he can go. Well, really not. There's not much, bro. If he could beat Justin Gaethje, he sure as fuck would be ready for a title shot.
That's true too.
He's reached damn near the summit, bro. Not the summit, the peak of the fucking mountain, bro. He's damn near reached the peak of the mountain. So at this point, give him the one final boss. Or, I'm sorry, the super lieutenant. And the boss before the boss fight, bro. Get past the super lieutenant, bro.
Yeah, man.
Past Justin Gaethje, no one can stop him. No one outside of Dustin Poirier.
Not even the super duper lieutenant, captain, major.
Honest to God, honestly, dude, Conor would get the title fight if he beats Poirier just because he's Conor, but I don't think Conor deserves it over any of them. Conor doesn't deserve a title fight, in my opinion, over a Beneil, over a Chandler, over a Gaethje, over a Poirier. I'm a Conor hater, I guess, so people are going to call me a Conor hater.
Chandler got it. On hype.
All right, fine. Maybe not. All right, so let me back up on Chandler. But all the other guys, though, that I just mentioned, the Poirier, the Gaethje, the Beneil Dariush's, he doesn't deserve it, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think he deserves it.
Don't matter. You gave it to Chandler. Now you can give it to Conor.
bro. It'd be another great fight, bro. Gaethje versus Conor. If that's the case, but
Conor don't want that fight.
I don't know. I guess maybe because I'm a Conor hater, but Conor, because he's so fucking inconsistent. He's all he's done is fight mega fights, and because he's Conor McGregor, he's gonna get the title fight because he's gonna ask for it, and he's gonna draw box office. Which at the end of the day, that's all the UFC cares about is the box office and the money, but versus the fucking integrity of the best versus the best, like we discussed earlier. And it chaps my ass, bro. Like it really fucking chaps my ass, man.
Yeah.
That's why you and I have been falling in love with ONE FC lately, because of the fact that they do it right. They fucking do it right, bro.
No, totally.
Even, I mean, Bellator to a lesser extent, they do it right.
You raise a good point. I mean, definitely. But like you said, the UFC is going to go after the box office. They're going to go after the draw. But hey, I have a major fucking problem with your plan. I'm going to throw a giant little box, whatever, an IED or whatever. And his name is fucking Dustin Poirier, bro. And he hails from the Louisiana swamps. And I think my boy is going to piece up Conor even worse.
I'm praying he does. He does.
I think Conor's done after this fight. And I think that Poirier goes on and fights Olivera.
No,
or
honestly, I see
whoever Olivera you know what I mean? Whoever, if they decide to do another fight, like I said, it's a month away. I don't know why you would.
I mean, there's four guys.
It's just gonna fuck up the timeline.
Yeah, that's timeline is the key. It's the same thing with Chandler. Chandler fell into it because
Dustin,
of the timeline.
Out of everyone in the convo, Dustin deserves the title
by far. I won't disagree. By far.
So
he's clear number one.
If he wants to go up,
followed by Gaethje, followed by Beneil.
Yep.
Although people put Conor above Beneil, which makes sense, I guess.
Let's go back to that conversation we're having about Chandler. If you're the UFC, you don't have to give Chandler that fight. Like you said, you got Beneil Dariush, you got other motherfuckers in the ranks who you could give that fight to. Who could competitively be in that fight?
Beneil needed this Toni Ferguson fight.
No,
I would have wanted to see Chandler and Ferguson. That's really one of the things.
No, he didn't. He didn't. What did he prove in this Toni Ferguson fight that you haven't seen before out of Beneil Dariush? That's what I'm saying.
Toni Ferguson.
He's
Toni
the same
Ferguson
guy.
Bro, Toni Ferguson. We're questioning Toni Ferguson's what's it called?
Tony Ferguson. Yeah, but Beneil
Dariush still elite. The name itself. Toni Ferguson's raw ability.
It's not there anymore.
I disagree. It's not there anymore because of this fight.
Oh no, not just this fight. It's Gaethje fight. I mean, you go back.
I would have still.
Tony takes damage, man. Tony takes damage in almost every damn fight he's in. He almost. Yeah. I mean, going back to Lando Venata. You know what I mean? Like
I was really rooting for Lando that fight, bro. I was really.
Me too. Really but I'm just saying.
He won, by the way. Lando did win, by the way.
Yeah.
On the lower ranks.
Yeah, it was another one of them crazy judging things. But look, Tony Ferg, he's great, you know what I mean? But he's not in the elite conversation anymore. Beneil Dariush, I got newsflash. For anyone, Beneil Dariush would have done the same thing to Tony Ferguson a year or two ago, by the way.
Yeah, no.
What's different about Beneil Dariush?
No, 2017, 2018, Tony Ferguson would have mauled Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush is great. No, I've known Beneil Dariush is great, but as of late, he's put together. He's on that run. Remember we talked about with Edson Barbosa, and we talked about Olivera, where you need to catch that lightning in a bottle and go on a run. Beneil is on that lightning in a bottle right now.
Older guy. He's been the same fighter for 10 years, man.
He's on a lightning in a bottle run.
Yeah, he's on a run, but I'm just saying, like, he would have done that to Tony Ferg a year or two ago.
He would have a year ago, maybe. Not 2 years. Not 2 years. Not 2 years. No,
he's not. No. It's not like it's. Listen,
2 years ago, that would be before the Gaethje fight.
If you can show me, I'll believe it. But show me what improvement. Show me what improvement Beneil Dariush has made. Ferguson. Since in the last 5 or 6 fights, he's had these skills. He's had these skills for forever.
Yeah, but you're all right. We're talking about Tony Ferguson. We're talking about Tony Ferguson from fucking. If you say a year ago, maybe okay.
I'm not saying Tony Ferguson's not good. 2 years ago.
So you're saying
Beneil Dariush. Yes.
So you're saying pre-Cable Gate, Tony Ferguson would lose to a Beneil Dariush from 5 years ago. I say you're full of shit.
Very possibly, yes. Then look, I'm saying if you follow,
I like Beneil Dariush, but not that much.
Follow Beneil Dariush's career before the UFC. You know that he was a motherfucker before he even got here. He was doing stuff like he did to Tony Ferguson last night or the night before in other organizations before he even got here, is what I'm saying. He would have.
I mean, bro, Ferguson is different.
You're saying Tony. Okay, let me flip it on you. You're saying 2 years ago Tony Ferguson would have dusted Beneil Dariush?
Not dusted, but he would have won. He would have won.
He would have won decisively. You've known that for sure.
I'm not going to say decisively, but I'm not saying that it would be like super duper tight or he would lose. I'm saying he wouldn't lose. Maybe it would be close. It may be close, but he's not winning. He's not winning. No,
I mean, I don't know. We don't have time machines.
No, Dariush dominated Tony Ferguson in this fight. If this was the reverse, and this was to pre-Cablegate Tony Ferguson, which is about 2-3 years ago, versus the same Beneil Dariush, no, Ferguson's winning.
The same Ferguson's winning. No, what you just said, you just proved it right. The same Beneil Dariush 2-3 years ago is the same guy you saw on Saturday,
and he's not beating pre-Cablegate Tony Ferguson. He's not beating pre-Cablegate Tony Ferguson. Or, you know what I mean? He's not going to do it. It would be a close fight. Maybe it'll be a close fight. But
what would Tony Ferguson do 2-3 years ago different?
Bro, he still had – Tony Ferguson would have been on, the 12-fight streak at the time? It was like 11 or some shit like that.
Yeah, but that's 12-fight streak is not a punches in the cage. 12-fight streak is mystique. That's legend. That's lore. 12-fight streak is hype. But skill is skill,
bro. He had the mojo. He was fighting regularly. He had his mojo.
Bro, mojo's mojo. But you get against a guy like Beneil Dariush.
He was still, bro. He was even more unorthodox back then because people still hadn't figured him out. Maybe Beneil would have done better. And he would have been close, but
that's a fair point.
Was still, bro. Like he was still like the monster. He
was mysterious. Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying Beneil Dariush would have done it any easier. But I am saying that I think he would have won the fight, and I do think that it would have. I think everybody would have been surprised. It would have been a
fight of the year.
It would have been a great fight for Beneil Dariush to actually come over. But it
would have been a fight of the year. But I don't see him winning. I don't see pre-Cablegate Tony Ferguson beats Beneil Dariush. Close or not?
I just think that now looking back at Tony Ferguson, like in retrospect, is he one of the most elite fighters of all time? Absolutely. Is he one of the most technical fighters of all time? No. Is he one of the most like crafty fighters, sneaky fighters? Yes. But when it comes to like these top level skills, when Tony doesn't have his little out of it, man, he runs into guys like Beneil Dariush, and he will. And this isn't like just Beneil Dariush. Like this has happened before. You know what I mean? So like, Beneil Dariush is just, I guess what I'm saying, this is how good Beneil Dariush is, man. And a lot of people don't.
He's great.
I'm not party for him. And that's why I'm saying.
I'm not discrediting how good he is.
The reason why I'm saying, like, and why I got even on this point was because what you had said, going back to like Beneil Dariush could fight for the title. You're right. He absolutely could fight for the title.
One fight away from it. He's
that
one fight away from
damn good. We can fight for it right now. I mean, like you said, he just beat Tony Ferg. You know what I mean? He just
but like you said, he beat a diminished Tony Ferg.
Yeah, he did.
Which doesn't carry the same weight.
It doesn't.
It doesn't carry the same weight.
It doesn't carry the same weight.
That's why I said Beneil is he's one fight away. The reason why I'm saying Beneil is one fight away is because he's on that lightning in a bottle run. We have both mentioned that this is his last hurrah at 40 years old. He's on that run, but he's like, no. Well, I mean, you see the gray hair, and you're like, oh, okay.
I know
the hair looks 40.
I feel like I've only seen the gray hair.
The hair looks 40. The body looks like the hair looks 40. The body looks like 34, 35, 33, some shit like that. The skills are like fucking 30.
Yeah. No, totally.
Skills are a motherfucker, bro. Yeah. So I mean, like I think when you have these guys, that lightning in a bottle run, bro. That lightning in a bottle run. Poirier before he met Gaethje, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all these guys, in order to get to the very, very top, you have to be stupendously amazing, or you have to catch that lightning in a bottle run. Beneil's on that lightning in a bottle run. Olivera's on a lightning in a bottle run. Yeah, dude. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, definitely. And look, Beneil's definitely on a good run, but like you said, he's one fight away. He could fight for the title now, skill-wise. But as far as promotion-wise and everything, yeah, he needs another fight to build his name a little bit. But
Just give him a main event. Give him a major fight night main event against fucking Gaethje or fucking Chandler or yeah,
exactly. We'll go from there. I don't know. The UFC will fit. I'm sure we'll get some announcements here in the next like few weeks, couple months. But going back to the main, Charles Oliveira did it, man. Champ. Michael Chandler.
Him, good for him.
Almost got it done, but just not close enough. So good for him and good for Brazil. Brazil's got another champ, another champ on the roster. Somebody said something. Somebody said something to Dana the other day about does it feel like good like to have Brazilians dominating in the sport now and stuff like that? And Dana was like, he just laughed and he went, "You must not be a fan, because Brazilians have been dominating in the sport since day fucking one." And it's just
honest to God, I think Dana White isn't a fan of that because of fact Dana White's people who are marketable. Brazilians, besides Anderson Silva, who was so flashy, they're not marketable, bro. That's one of the things I love. Davidson Figueiredo. But she learns how to speak English. She learned how to speak English. She's Americanized herself.
Yeah, but that doesn't make her not Brazilian, though. Just because they speak English.
All right. So let me rephrase that then. In terms of like they want the Americanized versions. They want people that are marketable.
They're selling a fight in America.
I love Davidson Figueiredo, but he's gonna run into that problem now. He's in the flyweight division for the UFC, men's flyweight division, which isn't that hot anymore without Mighty Mouse and a lot of the guys that they cut for zero reason. Second, he doesn't speak a lick of English, and it's very hard for that to
He doesn't need to.
Over.
He's got Waleem with him, dude. He's got what he.
Oh, bro! I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that rematch. Shit. By the way, I can't wait for that Moreno rematch, bro. I can't wait for that Moreno rematch, bro.
That'll be a good match. That's gonna be a good fight.
That's the co-main of the Adesanya card. That's the co-main of the Adesanya card. That's next month. Adesanya card's next month, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's next month because Connor's in July.
I like that.
I hope it's another barn burner like that. That was my fight of the year last year. Was Moreno and Figueiredo.
Yeah. No. Look, I mean, going back to the marketing thing, look, you're selling fights in the West, you're selling fights in the United States primarily. So that is what they're gonna go after. If you speak English, it obviously helps because the majority of the people watching your product speak English. So it just, you know what I mean? It's just easy. These fighters who decide to market themselves and get themselves out there, you know what I mean? Like, it works. That's what Anderson Silva did. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't realize that, but Anderson Silva had a huge media campaign, man. He knew it
how helped though because he was so damn flashy and so damn good. That's really
not just that. Though. Anderson knew.
If he was mediocre, we wouldn't matter.
People said that Anderson would say stuff in interviews all the time and it wouldn't make sense. And no. You don't know what you're talking about. Anderson would say stuff to purposely make the press. Anderson spoke English for fucking years. He spoke that thing that Chael Sonnen went off about. It was not false. It was not farcical. He was really like trying to out Anderson Silva's ability to speak English a lot better than what he was alluding to at the time. And that's because Anderson Silva knew, like, he would say certain things to the media and they would get like fucking flashy. He knew certain weeks out from a fight when he was supposed to start talking and things like that. So, there's a lot of behind the scenes that we don't get to see, that we're not privy to until years later, until all these documentaries come out about these guys. You know what I mean? But
can't wait for the Anderson Silva documentary, bro.
There's already like 2 or 3 of them out, man.
I would love a Last Dance Michael Jordan style documentary on fucking Anderson Silva in his fucking heyday.
That would be great.
Oh my god, like, bro, like the Anderson Silva when he front kicked Vitor Belfort and fucking fucked up Forrest Griffin and fucking
that fight.
Anderson Silva, his reaction to the fucking Nick Diaz fight, shit like that, bro.
I remember watching that fight. Going back real quick, I was at a buddy of mine's house. Actually, I want to say Angel was there. And we were watching that fight at Kingery's house. Angel may have not been there. I don't remember. I was drunk. But I remember watching the fight and we're sitting on the couch and just watching them circle for what felt like forever. You know, I don't know.
Such a shitty fight.
Such a long,
shitty fight.
it's such a long time they circled. And then it was just like, what the fuck is going? Bam! I was like, what? It was crazy. I remember it like all of us, like in the house, our reactions were delayed because we were so like, fuck, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? Like we couldn't believe that it just went from like dead to like fucking 110 all of a sudden on the voltage meter. Yeah, it was cool. That was a great moment. Great moment for Anderson Silva. Yeah, I don't know what.
Oh wait, this whole time you're talking about Vitor, and I'm like, I just realized you're talking about Vitor. I swear you're talking about Nick Diaz because I kept saying it was a shitty fight. It was a shitty fight, and I was like, I don't know. I guess because I'm tired, I just realized that you were talking about fucking Vitor when he front kicked him.
Well, the beginning of it was shitty. It wasn't that they didn't do anything. They just circled each other for like. Fucking,
it wasn't Damian Maia and it wasn't fucking Nick Diaz.
It was close to Damian Maia. It was, bro. I remember buying that Damian Maia fight, having to call everybody, all my friends, and be like, "Hey, guess what? The fight's not at fucking 7:00 tonight. It's actually at 1:00 right fucking now. You want to come over here?" We bought a cake, we bought like chicken wings, we bought everything to have this big old shindig at my house before we went out to Georgia for some training. And I didn't know the fight was in Abu Dhabi. And this is way before I'm like reading MMA news or anything like that. You know what I mean? So I didn't know the fight wasn't stateside, and no one, like two of my friends came and we got like completely plastered like 1:00 in the day and burned all our steaks and fucking caught the house on fire.
Jesus Christ.
Memories, UFC. But
bringing us closer together and costing people money and lives.
That's right, and lives. Anyway, I don't even remember why I went on there. I'm so tired. We should probably call it.
I wanted to talk about Dan Hardy getting his release before we go.
Sure.
I find that like, bro, huge news, bro. Because Dan Hardy's been fighting. Dan Hardy's been fighting for years to be cleared. He's got all of his independent doctors. He's been to several independent doctors. He's been cleared. The UFC would not clear him. He also brought up before he got released over the fact that his deal is so old. I think it was at like 50 and 50. I'm not saying Dan Hardy should be making like 500.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more going on here than what's really being put out, and I love me some Dan Hardy as a fighter. I'd like to see him. I'm not the biggest fan of him as a commentator or an analyst. I
don't mind him at all. I like Dan Hardy as a commentator analyst because he's so insightful. He's the British Dom Cruise, bro. Dom Cruise is better.
Stretch.
Dom Cruise is better, but I mean, bro, he's very, very, very insightful. He does his homework.
More like
he's very passionate about
British, who's the guy, Marine Corps guy, used to do commentary?
Brian Stan. Okay.
Brian Stan. He's more like
I like Brian Stan too.
I love Brian Stan. Oh, I love me some Brian Stan. Yeah. If you don't know, Dan Hardy used to live with monks when he was a kid. He literally moved himself to.
Do you hear and see my? You don't hear or see my.
I hear. I don't see.
Bro, because he's hungry. I normally go him an hour ago, so like he's fucking cracked out right now.
But yeah, no. I'd like to see I'd like to see him go to another organization, but I find it interesting that he's not trying to find the UFC. And I would.
They fell out once he had that argument with Ferguson and with Dana and Herb Dean.
Obviously, everything just hit the shitter, because bro. You would just think
everything hit the shitter.
Yeah, your contract's that old, but hey, get a new deal. I mean, you're Dan Hardy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure
there's some leverage in your name. There was some leverage in the name.
Yeah, if things were legit, if things were okay, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to get a deal together.
They wouldn't clear him though. At the end of the day, that's why he was doing the commentary stuff, because he wanted to still be a part of the game.
No, he got cleared.
UFC did not clear him.
Yeah,
UFC did not clear him. Show me, because he was just saying that the UFC never cleared him, but he got clearance from multiple independent doctors. Yeah, he said that. That's one of the reasons why he hadn't fought yet, is because of the fact that the UFC just has hesitant to clear him.
I thought it was the UFC doctors who had cleared him.
No, it was multiple independent doctors that he's gone to that have cleared him, that said like, okay, you're okay to fight. I mean, it's not like he's going to fucking schmoes. I doubt.
Doesn't the guy have a hole in his heart? Like what? Like there's something going on with his heart, right?
Yeah. There's a hole in it, I think, or something like that. I mean,
I think maybe that's what I'm saying. There's more to this is this going on. There might be some legit reason why they don't want to medically clear him, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I get why the UFC wouldn't want to clear him. That's fine. But maybe Hardy should have asked for his release years ago. But it's just that allure of being the UFC and being Dan Hardy.
I just don't want to see him fight and go get fucked up. You know,
I want to see him fight one time. Just give me one shot, and if he gets fucked up, then I'll be in the same wagon as you. But I want to see him
in fucking forever.
You don't follow him on Instagram? He trains all the time.
Okay.
He trains, he rolls.
Okay.
It's not like he's just sitting there fucking wanking off.
Okay. I know, but it's different.
Bro, I mean, the other thing is, bro, he's been off the sideline for what, 5 years? I think 7 years, whatever the fuck, however many years.
Close to 7, more like
close to 7. So, but one of the benefits of that is that you had time to heal. He doesn't have any injuries whatsoever. His brain is probably the clearest it's ever been.
Yeah,
chin probably the best it's been because of the fact that he's not taking the severe punishment of training camps and fights. Like, bro, like in terms of like your shape, it's great. Like I use that. I say that because of when we watch wrestling. A wrestler by the name of Daniel Bryan, another wrestler by the name of Edge, both had to retire because of injuries. Edge was out for 10 years. Daniel Bryan was out for I think 3 or 4 years. And they were able to come back. One was for concussions, one was from a neck injury, and because they had that time off to clear the head, to let the spine heal, they were able to come back. And so I feel that way for Dan Hardy. I mean, if he has a hole in his heart, that's definitely an issue. But whoa, did you just click something?
What?
Dude, did you just click something?
You like my fire?
I don't see the fire at all.
Getting a little warm.
No, I don't see fire, but all I see is like you just like fucking like cut yourself basically.
Yeah, I'm all shaped out over here.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's why I'm like, whoa, I'm not tripping balls, am I? No, what the fuck? This isn't fucking a Molly water. What the fuck? This isn't EDC. What the fuck is going on? Nah, but I think that time off will do Hardy wonders, and that's why I want to see him fight so bad, bro. And if he gets starched, then I'll be in the same boat as you. I don't want to see Dan Hardy fight anymore. But if he has a competitive fight, even if he loses, if it's competitive, he looks good. He doesn't take so much damage.
Sure.
Cool. Let him fight. Let him go.
Yeah.
And I think he's gonna go. He's gonna end up going to, I think, ONE FC. He wants to go overseas. He always wanted to fight in Japan. When I saw the interview that I sent you guys in the group chat, he always said he wanted to go to Japan. He respects organizations like ONE. He'll look at Bellator because Bellator's got a good division themselves.
He would have been a pride guy.
He would have been a pride guy, bro, if he wasn't in the UFC.
Yeah.
So if he wants to make the most noise, I think he should go to Bellator. If he wants to really like embrace those roots and embrace the what ifs, he should do ONE. And I would love to see him on ONE. And that's another thing. Dan Hardy going to ONE FC will definitely bring more UFC eyes over to ONE FC. I'm sure at this point a lot of fans, especially the diehards, will have known ONE FC. They would have heard the sprinkles. They might have even caught them on TNT. But having somebody like Dan Hardy, a legend, a UFC legend, basically, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think that would do nothing but help them, bro, significantly. Eddie Alvarez kind of flamed out for them. Mighty Mouse was on a pedestal until that last fight. You know what I mean? Like, they could use another UFC. If they're going to bring in another UFC person, why not a Dan Hardy? That would do them wonders, I think.
Yeah, no, you raised really good points. I'll counter them with, I would love to see Dan Hardy in ONE FC as well. I would love to see him as a commentator. Would love to see him as one of their analysts. I'd love to see him like as a staff guy. You know what I mean? Like I think
they're so ONE FC's analysts, I think, have been the same since the inception. I don't think they've changed. The only thing they've added, added Rich Franklin. That's the only thing they did. Who's like the vice president, I think.
I'm just saying, instead of seeing him fight, like what you're saying, I would rather see him not do that. I would rather see him, if he would go to ONE FC and bring his name over there, I'd rather him see it doing in that kind of that channel. I don't think he's gonna go over there and win a fight. I mean,
let him fight.
ONE FC. Are you? I mean,
let him fight, bro. Let him fight.
Well, let him fight. Let him fight.
Let him do both.
Yeah.
Let him fight. And like I said,
I think he's gonna get. I hope not. But I mean, look, if ONE FC gives him any of their guys that are like legit, and all their guys are legit, I think Dan Hardy's got a fucking rough motherfucking night to come back to, dude. You know what I mean?
If he gets starched, I'm with you. If he doesn't
One
get starched,
FC
let him
has
go.
got some
Let him
killers,
go.
man.
They do.
Got so many
They
guys.
do. That's
yeah.
fine. If he came back to the UFC, he's not going to get a fucking patty cake. He mentioned Ryzen in that. He mentioned Ryzen in that interview too.
I like Ryzen better for him.
Okay, I'll give you Ryzen. I love ONE FC. I'm riding the ONE FC hype train, but I'll give you Ryzen. I wouldn't mind seeing him go to Ryzen.
I love ONE FC too, but I don't want to see
Ryzen.
I don't want to see him do that to Dan Hardy.
If he goes to Ryzen, he can even go to Bellator because they have that
the co-thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. No, I'd like to see that because look, I like ONE FC a lot, man, and I don't want to see Dan Hardy go over there and get plastered for their game. And they don't strike me as the type of organization that even does something like that. So I don't know. I'd just be very curious to you know what I mean.
I'll give you Ryzen.
I'd like to see him in Ryzen. You know what I mean? Like just look what's happened with Eddie Alvarez. You know what I mean? Demetrius Johnson and you know.
I mean, Demetrius is still good. I mean, kind of shit the bed in his debut with TNT, but Mighty Mouse was dominating everybody there. Easy fights. He was having significant fights, good fights. Not easy, but definitely.
He wasn't dominating, but he was winning.
He was winning. It was solid. It was solid.
You could just him and he's past his prime. You could, I mean, what are you gonna?
But past his prime, Mighty Mouse, because Mighty Mouse is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Past prime, Mighty Mouse.
That guy past his prime, still fucking up every
population. Yeah, bro. Fuck up 80% of the population no matter your weight class.
95%.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude, no problem.
He's to me, Mighty Mouse, even though he lost, is still probably like a top 15, top 20 fucking pound for pound in the world.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Yeah,
how about that for $1?
So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I guess we can. Is there any positive things you wanted to mention before we close?
I forgot about that.
Clearly fucked up there.
What's positive that happened in MMA this week? I know I read a couple things. Yeah. Well, next week. Thank you for coming. Thanks for joining us. It's fun. This has been. I've got
to get back on my fight sequences and stuff. This chick I'm talking to, she likes UFC. She wants to get back in the UFC. So I'm gonna be probably watching cards with her and shit. You know what I mean? So I gotta get back on the grind. We have been busy like I said when we introduced the thing. Andy and I have been busy personally. That's why we missed a week. Andy's computer shit the bed. I've been busy with life, with work, things of that nature. So yeah, we gave it a little bit of a week, but on a positive note, we came back with the HD, came back with the sound. So it's not like we fucking did fuck all in our time off, but at the end of the day, we're back on the grind, back better than ever, and we're gonna keep delivering this fire content for y'all.
Yeah, no, this definitely is my only stop, Daddy. You know what I mean? I got them kiddos. I got a fucking full-time school. You got a full-time job. Yeah. You know what I mean? This isn't our only swinging gig. So, but it is a gig, buddy. And we are here, and we're gonna be continuing to drop the episodes. So hopefully we don't have any more breaks. We can keep up, and we'll both continue to watch MMA, keep up with it, inform, get the information out there, as well as the other organizations as well. So, thanks for joining us today, guys. I'm Andy. This is Ethan.
Sayonara, minasan.